Sentai! Zyuranger!
Hey, and welcome back to episode 5 of my Zyuranger episode review series. Who'd have thought I'd make it this far, but hey, 10% of the way there. This episode is the first part of the third two-parter that opens up the Zyuranger series. Episode 7 will be the first Kiddie of the Week standalone episode, so that'll be something different. But in this episode, we've got Dora Sphinx, and plenty of riddles, and more to do with the Guardian Beast, so let's get into it. As some children are heading home, one splits from the others, heading over a bridge as he hears a riddle being spoken. Confused, he looks around as a man in an Egyptian-style headdress and crook appears. The boy correctly answers that the tail always points down, as the strange man transports the boy to a chair under a clock as he tells him it's ultra fun riddle time. If he can answer all the riddles correctly in 10 seconds, he will win a trip round the world. What's the most boring way to travel? An airplane. What's a cow's favourite part of a car? A steering wheel. 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs at noon and 3 legs at night? The boy incorrectly answers ghost, but the answer is a human being. And with the last riddle failed, the strange man tells him failures like him don't deserve to walk the earth. Before turning into a door monster, he blows towards the boy with his wings, causing him to fly away as the monster laughs manically. Returning to his riddle master form, he asks another boy, how do children fight their battles? The boy answers dodgeball, but it's actually tug of war, leading to him being blown away as well. Elsewhere, Dan and Boy are wandering around some shops before meeting up with the others, but Dan is more interested in hitting on girls. Geki is in a desert stumbling around before he collapses, and he hears May calling and he wakes up, explaining that he keeps having the same dream. She tells him Dan and Boy are in town as Goosh runs in saying Bandora is up to something and 6 children have gone missing. Meanwhile on the moon, Bandora and her monsters are having a party as Bandora renews her pledge to the Dark Lord of Hell to hunt down all the children of the world, not only to devastate the adults, but because she despises all children. She sends Dora Sphinx back to Earth to hunt down more kids, as Dan and Boy are waiting in a park to see if they can find the monster, as it's been spotted in parks at night. But Dan has a date with a girl he met in Harajuku, running off as he leaves Boy alone, who is almost immediately met by the strange man who has a riddle for him. You have 5 pieces of meat, but a hawk took his steak. How many remain? When Boy asks who the man is, he replies that he thought Boy was a child. But Bandora, watching from the moon, tells Dora Sphinx that Boy is a Zyuranger and to get him. He repeats the riddle again, but Boy rushes him as he vanishes, reappearing behind Boy. As he tries to attack again, Dora Sphinx disappears and reappears, now saying that time is up, and the answer is 6 because the hawk brought his own, before turning into a monster and flapping his wings blows Boy away, just as Dan returns. Back at the temple, Dan is blaming himself for Boy's disappearance, but Barza, however, is sure he knows the monster's identity and that Bandora based it on the legends of the Sphinx. Dan decides he will deliberately get a riddle wrong so he can find out where Boy and the children are, and despite Geki telling him not to go, he leaves anyway, as Goosh declares they are not a team. Geki makes to follow Dan, but stops, suddenly gasping for breath and collapses against a pillar, finding himself back in the wasteland from his dreams. He's brought back to reality by Goosh and May calling him, brushing off their concerns as they leave to find Dan. Searching on their bikes, they see Dan flying through the air and chase after him. Arriving in some woods, they call to him but see nothing, though they soon hear the calls of children and realise that the Sphinx's victims are trapped inside of trees. Dora Sphinx appears and informs them that while they are all still alive for now, the trees are all due to be cut down to make space for a golf course, which will kill the children in the process. The 3 rangers try to attack Dora Sphinx, but he keeps disappearing and reappearing, before transporting them all to a small amphitheatre where he challenges them to riddles. May is chosen to go first, as Geki tells her to run so she can't hear, but she refuses. Before Geki can stop her, golems appear knocking him and Goosh back, and transforming, the rangers fight the golems, as Dora Sphinx criticises their teamwork, before asking May what kind of bird is twice as big inside as out. Dodging golems, she tries to think of an answer, and she guesses eagle. But she's wrong, it's owl. Changing to his monster form, he blows May away, before changing back and challenging Goosh. What can you shake without using your hands? Goosh correctly answers head, so Sphinx asks another question. What is useless on top and useful underneath? Goosh answers carbon paper, but he answers too late and is also blown away. Geki is now the only one left, and he's asked what sort of book is found inside the human body. An appendix. If a new car on the lot is a cherry, what does it become when you drive it away? A lemon. What kind of jar do you close with a key and not a lid? A door that's ajar. Dora Sphinx is getting really excited with Geki getting the questions right, but next is the hardest question. Is it true there's nothing eternal in this world? Geki answers that there's justice, but Dora Sphinx says that's wrong because evil will always triumph. Arguing the answer, Dora Sphinx transforms again to monster form and blasts Geki, who retaliates with his Dragon Strike sword. They seem to be evenly matched as they fight, and are suddenly transported to a quarry and both roll down the slope. They continue to fight until Bandora uses her magic to make Dora Sphinx grow, and Geki summons his guardian beast. But the Tyrannosaurus transports Geki away to the wasteland of his dreams. Alone and untransformed, Geki staggers through the wasteland as the episode ends. To be continued. So, what an episode. We've got a load of riddles that quite a few of them don't really make that much sense. I think a lot of that has to do with like the translation between Japanese and English. But I mean, for the most part, it's it's good to see kids knowing how to answer riddles. But yeah, the Rangers really are not working well as a team. They all want to go off and do their own thing. Dan wants to pick up girls. He's got a date, so he leaves their little stakeout, him and Boy, which leads to Boy getting captured by Dora Sphinx. And yeah, it ends on such a downer with 4 of the Rangers being trapped. They're gone. You've got Geki, who has been having these dreams, and then when he's under attack by Dora Sphinx that's been made massive, he calls the Tyrannosaurus, but Tyrannosaurus just spits him out into this wasteland that he's been dreaming about. So there's a lot that is building up in this episode. Also, I have to say, this is probably one of the first episodes where I actually, when I watched it, I compared it with the original Power Rangers. I grew up with original Power Rangers. And I have to say, if you watch this episode, obviously not my version on here, that with my commentary over the top, because I've basically been as bad as Power Rangers here. The problem is, Power Rangers, while it was good at the time, I mean, I loved it. I was a massive Power Rangers fan. Maybe one day I'll even show off the picture or even some video of me back from 1994 with my Power Rangers costume. My mum made me a Power Rangers costume when I was a kid. I loved it that much. Always wanted the toys, and well, as you can see now, I've got a whole load of them here. And yeah, it's Power Rangers butchered the fight footage. And it was this episode where I actually first tried to compare the two. Going, I've really enjoyed this episode. The fights were so good. Let me watch some actual Power Rangers. And I watched it and I'm like, oh my, what have they done? And I'm watching bits and it's been chopped up and moved around and all the rest of it. And I'm like, wow. If I'd seen the actual Zyuranger stuff as a kid, I would have been even more obsessed. Because I love the fights. So, yeah, like I say, everything's going wrong for the Rangers. 4 of them are captured. Geki's in the wasteland from his dreams. I have to wait till next episode to find out what happens. Till next time.